Geek Life presents.
It's your boy Kool-Aid. This is the homie Rich.
What's up? Did you catch that Easter egg? Champ is back.
Peace, mad flavor.
Be good, everybody.
What's up, and welcome to the King's Corner. It's your boy Kool-Aid. This is the homie Rich.
What's up?
And this is the show where we talk about what's hot in the comic industry. We answer them questions for the fans, and we delve into the thing we do called comics.
Yep.
But first,
Guys, continue to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep with us for the ride. We got more announcements coming soon. We got giveaways. We got all kinds of fun stuff. Check us out on Instagram as well.
yeah. So I think in June we hit our first year in this game.
Can you believe that? A year already.
Man, I think we should set it off. We should have some sales on the sites.
Okay.
We're going to throw some sales on Instagram, sales on geeklifecomics.com, and maybe end the month with an auction.
There you go. I love it.
We haven't done an auction in a month, so we'll
Yeah.
throw out some hot books. So we're in the middle of getting the stuff together. You just stay tuned.
Yeah.
All right? So today on the show, we're going to talk about that infamous argument talker.
Yeah.
When I was in school, there was two topics that you could not talk about because it's going to start a fight. Right? You can't talk about, you know what I'm saying, if there's a God, you don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And who's the greatest rapper of all time. Those would always start arguments.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in a comic book game, one of the things that always starts an argument is cameo versus first appearance, y'all.
Ooh. Guys, the cameo versus first appearance debate has been setting comic book heads on edge for the longest time. Where do you stand in the debate?
It really depends.
Okay.
I'm going to save my opinion to the end.
All right.
So we can at least get into it and we can show what happened and see where it goes. Then, like normal, we'll make our decision at the end.
All right. So let's talk about probably the most famous.
Hold on. But first, should we tell them what a cameo and a first appearance is?
Okay. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, so in the comic book world, the first cameo appearance, what people call the first cameo appearance in the comic book world, is when a character appears on a panel, usually towards the end of the story of a comic book. So they call that the first cameo appearance. Now, typically, in the collecting world, the first cameo appearance tends to be worth less than
Way less
than the first. Now there are exceptions though.
Okay.
And we'll get into that in a bit. And then versus the first full appearance. The first appearance of a comic book character in the comic book world is when the character is now utilized in
And we
the
hear about their
story.
backstory.
We hear about them. We see them. It's not always an origin story.
Not
either,
always.
Because so many characters, we don't even know about their origins until years later.
Do you know when the first official cameo was?
I do not know. No.
Marvel Comics #1
Okay.
in 1939. It was a cameo of the Human Torch
Okay.
and the Submariner.
No way.
Yes.
Wow.
So we've been doing cameos for quite a long time.
So yeah, it's definitely it's part of the hobby. If you're a comic book enthusiast, if you love the comic book culture, you've had this argument with your friends, or you've debated on whether or not, like, do I want to spend that much money when really his first appearance was this and this? You know?
And then, or you argue just what book to hunt for.
Right.
You gotta know. Well, no, this is some people. The main argument for my cameo people are when somebody shows up.
Yeah.
That's an appearance.
Bada bing. That's where I stand in the debate. To me, the first cameo is the first appearance.
But a cameo is just like, an introducer. Like if say we're rappers, a cameo doesn't mean, I'm saying, that's our first CD.
So like when Nas came out on Live at the Barbecue or whatever.
So it was a cameo. It's not showing up. It's not showing their skills.
Gotcha. All right.
So we're gonna get into a few famous cameos, and we're going to see what in the world thing. We're gonna hit them with which one. Let's start with the famous one first.
Let's start with the famous one. This is the one that has fueled so many debates, arguments online, in person, at your local comic book shops. Wolverine. There's a lot of people, especially nowadays, with the price of Wolverine books going up. And they're skyrocketing right now.
Who believe Wolverine #1, the limited series, was his first appearance.
That is correct. There are people who don't really realize that buying the first issue of a series for a character isn't necessarily their first appearance.
Wolverine's first appearance was an Incredible Hulk. Now the question is his first appearance 180 or 181?
Now, the way the debate has been had over the years, in the comic book lexicon, the first appearance is Incredible Hulk number 181.
Right, that is known as his first appearance.
This is the book that has now become a grail for so many collectors. This is a book that has skyrocketed in value. I was just telling Kool-Aid before the show, I'm so mad that when I was a kid, I didn't spend the $40 for it, because back then, I thought that was too much money for a comic book.
Back then, it was 5 cents for a loaf of bread, too, so.
What?
So we all knew. But now a 9.8 of Incredible Hulk 181 goes for $49,000. A 9.8 graded. $49,000. You could have put your kids through school with that.
You really can. I mean, you can make a significant dent in their college tuition with something like that.
And so, but the thing is, his first full appearance is 180.
It's 180.
Last page, it's Wolverine, claws out, everything, full costume. Now, I agree sometimes when it's just a shadow. When it's just a shadow, you may have me in there.
Okay.
But this was a full picture of my boy Logan.
It is. It's the first time he appeared in a comic book.
We see him face to face, but that is only 180 is only going for a 9.8, $25,000.
Which is still
a nice little chunk of change.
Incredible amount of money, right? If I didn't want to spend $40 on a book as a kid, I can't spend $25,000 as an adult yet. I'm not there yet. You know
I can't spend $5.50. So I don't know how they gonna spend.
You can't or you shouldn't.
Probably a little both. Like, do you ever wonder who spends $46,000 on a comic book?
Especially lately, because the way these books have been selling, like, it's insane. Like, comic books that used to be worth $30, $40 are now selling for hundreds of dollars. Books that were selling for hundreds of dollars are now selling for thousands of dollars. And books that were selling for thousands of dollars are starting to get into tens of thousands of dollars range.
People are using their stimulus money wisely.
Is it wise?
Ain't wise to me.
Is this going to create a boom?
So what do you think is going to happen when the mutants finally hit the MCW? Not MCW, MCU.
When the mutants come to the MCU, forget it. It's a wrap.
Like, so any of these books, including this Incredible Hulk 180, is gonna. You think it's gonna get ridiculous? Like,
it's gonna get
Superman
nuts.
first appearance nuts.
And if we keep getting stimulus checks,
they might blow up some more.
They might blow up some more, and especially if they bring back Wolverine, because all the speculation that's been going on back and forth because of the mention of Madripoor and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and just the phenomenal job that both on television and in the movie world that Marvel Studios has been doing has really just increased the value of these books.
So, then before we move on, which one to you is the first appearance? 180 or 181?
To me, it's a 180. But of course, I want them both.
I want them both too, but I'm gonna say 180. It's a full-fledged picture of my man. Mm-hmm. He's ready to go.
And I love Wolverine. He's in my top 5. Probably my favorite. It's
except
between
in the movies.
Him and Batman.
Except in the movies.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't like him in the movies?
Not at all.
No.
I'm saying I'm still voting for Rich. All right. The second one we're going to talk about is another X-Men that people are fighting over numerous times about this.
Yeah.
The first appearance of Gambit.
Man.
All right. We have giant size X-Men annual number 14.
Okay.
Versus X-Men 266.
Yep.
What do you say?
So, I'm a cameo guy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, the cameo is the first appearance. I understand why 266 is so popular.
He's on the cover.
It's caught heat.
He is everywhere.
It's a Jim Lee cover, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Jim Lee cover. You know, it's the run of the X-Men.
No, I don't think actually. Did Jim Lee actually? No, Jim Lee always gets credit for Gambit,
and it's not him. Right?
It's not him.
Okay. So my mistake there.
But I have a book signed with his name on it, just because he gets credit.
Yeah. So both those books have been blowing up a lot lately, right? The cameo is worth significantly less than the first appearance.
Significantly less. Cameo goes right now. X-Men Annual 14 goes $62.
$62.
$62.
Whether or not that's affordable for a cameo, that's debatable. To some collectors it is, to some collectors it's not. Especially because I remember when this book, I used to get this book in like a mystery mail call or something like that. It wasn't a book that had that much attention to it. Now, being that 266 has him on the cover and everything like that, I think that was easily more visual for people to be like, yeah, that's the first appearance.
And doesn't he even speak at the end in that annual? I don't even think he has a conversation. He said something. He has words.
Yeah, he's in multiple panels, and he does say words.
But then he's on the cover of 266.
Yeah.
This is his debut. This is when we get to know him as a character, right? Then the price difference is ridiculous. So if you're going to go buy one, which one do you buy?
So if you could get the deal, get them both, right? The annual is going to be a lot easier for you to get. It's much more attainable.
Actually, they're hard to get right now.
Right now? Really?
The debate is strong on this one.
Well, you might be able to get it from me because I think I have a couple.
And X-Men 266 in at 9.8, $26,000.
$26,000 for that?
$26,000.
In the 9.8? That's insane. That's insane. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? When it comes to collecting the X-Men run, and you want to get his first appearance, which one are you going to go for?
And if we forget one today, let us know. There was countless, and we'd like to keep the show to a minute. And, we run our mouths a lot. All right? The next one we're going to talk about is, okay, did you see that? We talked about this before. What did you think about the X-Men movies?
Okay, so I'm a fan. Love the second one. The second one is the best one out of all of them. I like the first one, and I like First Class. I just watched Dark Phoenix, and
did you actually finish it?
I finally watched it.
What'd you think?
Finally watched it. I understand why people don't like it.
It's horrible. I can't even make it past the first 15 minutes.
The Dark Phoenix saga growing up for me
was epic.
Beyond epic. I remember reading it all the way through. I had the trade paperback and then going back and starting it all over again. You
were in the 3rd grade, huh?
I don't remember, but I loved that story.
Anything has done an adaptation. Phoenix has been brought back millions of times. It's, they have retconned her. It used to be just Jean Grey. Now it's this force, And so I think now everybody they picked the new one. Isn't it the girl from Daredevil?
Which one?
We're old. I'm saying Echo.
Oh, Echo. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah.
So this force has come all over. So you like the movie?
No. I was disappointed in it. I was hoping it would be good because what was the one right before it? Would that kind of like reset the storyline? The one with the Sentinels.
Oh, Days in the Future Past.
That one I like.
That was a pretty good one.
I like that one.
But then
I got excited with the reset of the timeline. I got excited. I felt that cast had a lot of potential. But I like it didn't feel like an X-Men movie to me.
None of them. They were all trash. They were all hot garbage. I was straight mad. MCU, please do them justice. But one of the ones that made me the most upset was Apocalypse.
That made you the most upset out of
I am a huge Apocalypse fan.
Okay.
All right? I thought I was all excited. I was ready. You know what I'm saying? Only other bigger letdown was New Mutants. Mr. Sinister did not show up, even though he
New
was
Mutants was good.
Oh my goodness, that was horrible.
No, it was good.
I didn't know if it's like, I don't know what they were trying for. I don't know if they were trying for a Scream movie. No, it didn't work.
Nah, it worked.
And even
it was good.
Tell us what you think in the comments. But back to Apocalypse. This is a 5 versus 6. Apocalypse shows up in 5 for his cameo. 6 is the official version.
Right. So X Factor number 5 is his first cameo appearance, right? And then X Factor number 6 is that iconic cover that's been reproduced in multiple other storylines.
You know, I think that's an ugly cover.
I agree. It's not a great cover,
but they redo it all the time.
But they do redo it all the time.
The man's sitting there just yelling, and they just I don't.
And then there's everybody else all around his head.
Does that supposed to mean like he's scary?
I guess so.
I guess in the 50s when you were a kid, right? The people get scared more easier.
No, we were tougher back then. You know what I'm talking about.
Okay, so but a 9.8 and 5 only goes for 175. Number 6 goes for $1,000 strong.
That's insane. And honestly, like before that movie came out, that book was worth more. This is one of those unique experiences where the movie actually damaged the value of that book.
And it can happen. And it surprises me. Usually books with a white cover go for more than the colored cover.
Right.
And then number 5 has like a brilliant, beautiful cover, classic white, very hard to find in a 9.8.
Yeah, I can't get that book in good condition, like in like high condition, high grade, like ever. I always find it like just messed up.
To me, it's like Spider-Man 301. Like, you know, it's one of those, man, can I get this cover right? Can I get it to shine? You know what I'm saying? To get a good grade on it.
Right.
I'm actually more going for X Factor number 6 on this one as his first appearance.
Because you're such a huge fan of his?
That, and it was such a minimal look in X Factor number 5.
Okay.
It wasn't no interactions. When they're in interaction, that's his first appearance person.
Okay.
Like in Hope 180, he literally says, I'm next bub or something. I'm gonna get it right later on. But he says nothing.
Okay.
He just shows up. Which one do you think?
I'm telling you, I'm a cameo guy. The first cameo is that's the first appearance of that character.
Well, to flip over to the DC universe.
Okay.
We just had the Snyder Cut.
Okay.
And anybody knows the Kollector Kingz have mixed reviews on the Snyder Cut.
We usually have mixed reviews about everything.
Especially this movie. This movie is like, are they paying us?
Not at all.
The worst thing I've ever seen in my life. I wasted 3 hours of my life on this.
Wasn't it like 4?
I don't know. It was forever.
It really was.
It was like watching The Notebook.
I've never seen that.
Like, it was horrible. Like, they changed the score. Like, why did you change the music? It just, every time Wonder Woman showed up, I cringed.
Like, they really were trying to make it like its own movie. And I mean, I don't know. I don't think as negatively about it as you do, but it definitely should have been better. It should have been better.
It should have been way better. They hyped
Way
up the
better.
Joker. I was ready for this crazy. I thought he was going to be in the movie somewhere. No, he does some crazy. You know what I'm saying? Who cares when Harley died? Who cares?
What do you mean? She's one of like the main characters in the DC world.
Did you see her die?
No.
That's why I don't care. She wasn't even in the movie.
So we bring this up because the first appearance of Darkseid.
Yes, and he was dope in the movie. I did like his appearance in the movie. So that's why I brought that up, going around in circles. But everybody, with the first appearance of Darkseid as one of the Ultimate characters, his first appearance is usually given to Superman's pal, Jimmy Olsen, number 134.
Okay.
But his first full appearance, really, is Forever People, number 1.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, because in my pal, Jimmy Olsen, it is literally a face that doesn't even look like Darkseid on the screen.
It's kind of like a completely different looking person, right?
It doesn't, like when he shows up in the Forever People, it's a totally different look.
Like
nothing close.
In Star Wars, right? Jabba the Hutt, I think it was, looks completely different than the one we know.
Exactly. So this to me is a very tough one.
Okay, so you're a fan of this character.
Yes, I am.
As a Kollector King, which one to you is the first appearance?
I'm gonna go with Forever People number 1.
Why?
Because it has more of his look, more of his character.
Okay.
And I had my pal Jimmy Olsen, and I held it for a long time, but I couldn't get with that being a character because it was just a screen, yo.
Okay.
It was not him. But 9.8 for my pal Jimmy Olsen goes for $16,000.
Okay. And what about Forever People?
$4,500 for 9.8.
So that's a huge discrepancy.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge discrepancy. For a screen, son. We're not a screen. You know what I'm saying? And then do you know something? Just to throw some extra in there, because I hate Superman too.
Such a hater.
A little bit. Do you know how mean Superman was to Jimmy Olsen back in the day?
I've heard about this. I don't remember it growing up as a kid, but I've heard that he was a bully to him.
A bully is not the word.
Really?
Superman, man, people should have tattled on him. He should have went to detention.
Was it Superman or was it Clark Kent?
It was Superman and Clark Kent. They would like pull tricks on him.
Nuh-uh.
Yes. I'm saying this is back when Superman shot little mini-me's out his fingers.
What?
Do you not know your history?
No.
He used to shoot rainbows of mini-me's out his fingers.
Rainbows of mini Superman came out of his fingers?
Yes.
What
Superman was a jerk with weird powers.
I don't remember that at all.
You're supposed to be a collector king. These are the things they count on us to tell them this weird facts.
And we are.
But okay, but I'm saying for next one we're gonna go for the ladies.
Okay.
Saying last summer, Punchline flew on the scene.
Yep.
Hella Risen 3 is considered her cameo with Batman number 89 as her first appearance.
Bada bing.
Right? Where do you stand?
Whichever one came out first.
Saying it was Hella Risen.
All right. Well, Hella Risen is the first appearance.
Saying, but that and Hella Risen, crazy part, and 9.8 goes for $450.
Okay.
Batman 89, her first appearance, only goes for $231.
That's so weird. Yeah.
Yes. I'm saying so, but why?
Well, to be honest, the Punchline phenomenon to me is weird to begin with as well, right? Because this is such a brand new character. We don't know the impact she's gonna have in Batman's world and the DC universe. Like the fact that both are worth that much to me is surprising. Like, why?
I think with Harley becoming this anti-hero, they needed a place to fill.
Okay.
So they gave you a Punchline. And at first, I was a Punchline hater. I know some of y'all saying he hates everything out there. I don't. I like a lot of stuff. But it got to make sense. All right? And Punchline at first didn't make sense.
Okay.
She was just Harley wannabe.
Do you think this Molly chick is going to blow up like Punchline or no?
I just like saying Poppin' Molly.
Poppin' Molly. I don't think that's her name at all.
It's not. But the thing is, like, I don't... DC has been dropping villains for a minute now.
Okay.
A lot of them are hitting flat.
Yeah, a lot of them nobody cares about. And then you got your Punchlines and...
So Punchline is that rare occasion.
Is it that rare, though? Because I feel like, especially when this whole pandemic started, like, people just started getting crazy about anything new. Anything new, people were, like, running to the stores if they could to get it off the shelves. And then, like, the value just started increasing for, like, a book. Like, in some towns, your book was still on the shelf. Meanwhile, on eBay, it was selling for like $200 or something like that. Like depending on the character, it's crazy. Like what is it, Dark Winter or whatever it's called?
Yeah, Black Winter.
Black Winter. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know if that's a trend that's sustainable. I don't know if that's gonna continue to be, because I mean you would think that new characters come out all the time every year. You know, like new storylines, breed new characters. Like, is every book gonna be worth like thousands of dollars?
Because Hell Arisen #3, all you have is her talking on the phone.
Well, she's speaking. She's how many panels is she?
One.
She's only in one. Okay, so I know like the people who stick to that say that that's the cameo, but I don't know. Like the fact that there even is a cameo, I don't even think that should be a thing. Should be like the first time you see a character, bada bing, that's the character's first appearance.
But what if you see like a shadow or a foot or?
That sounds more like a cameo to me than not. You know what I mean? Like a foot or a shadow, or like you see like a word bubble. Like they're talking but they're not on camera, so to speak, right? To me that constitutes more of a cameo than like Hulk 180 where you actually see the dude.
So you're going for Hell Arisen #3?
Yeah, the first time you see the character, bada bing.
I agree with you. So now for our last one, we're going to go to a character that is blowing up recently. We have our girl Silk.
Oh yeah.
Saying Amazing Spider-Man, I think it's 8th generation #1 is
from 2014.
2014. You got to remember this.
This book is so slept on. Like, you probably have it in your collection and you may not even realize that that's the first cameo appearance of Silk. And right now, even though it's starting to get a little bit more attention, it's still like a $15 book.
Then Amazing Spider-Man #1, $79, 9.8. The first cameo appearance of Cindy Moon's Silk. Mm-hmm. And I'm not familiar. I have a couple copies of this book, but I'm not familiar with this cameo. So how does she a cameo in this book?
So if I can't remember from like reading it, but I remember vaguely that I think they name her in it. Mm-hmm. And I think she's in a panel, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I'm not 100%. Guys, comment in the comments below if you actually know like what her appearance looks like in this book.
And we're talking $400 for 9.8 right now for her first appearance, which is Amazing Spider-Man number 4
during the original Sin storyline.
Right.
Yeah, and so I can understand how that book, actually both books, to be honest with you, can be overlooked because the cover doesn't tell you much.
Not at all. And there wasn't much hype about it. I didn't even... you put me on gang with Silk.
Okay.
And I was like, who? Then you got Agents of Atlas is blowing up. Silk is coming out a lot of different places.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, the MCU dictates how far some of these characters go. So if once they name her to be in a movie, like for sure, then I think that cameo is going to blow up. And
they're talking about Into the Spider-Verse 2, she's going to make an appearance, which could just skyrocket this book.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you can buy the cameo for like $2 or $3 in some places.
Yeah, depending on where you go, you can find it for a really good deal.
Do you think when Amazing Spider-Man #4 becomes like, if let's say she does like the Miles Morales of last year, okay, she gets $4,000 or $5,000 for that first appearance.
I do think that book is heading there, but I think it's heading there slowly. Okay. It's like on a crawl. Like some books skyrocket there and they kind of stay there. This book will gradually continue to increase in value. The more collectors are aware of it, the more they go out and get it.
So do you think that when it reaches those heights, that's when Amazing Spider-Man #1 will be hot?
To be honest with you, I don't even know if Amazing Spider-Man #1 will ever be hot. That first issue has so many variants. It's crazy. So you can have all these variants and it's still the first cameo appearance. But if you don't know that that's the same title, or not title, but run, because, there's so many Amazing Spider-Man runs, like, you can have the first cameo to Silk and not even know about it.